Hello, everyone. This is Liz with Crafty Devotion, and what have I been working on? Well, this is my second try at creating one of my dresses, or this is a skirt. I I've been just had it in my mind for several years, trying to create my. People been asking me for my designs in my mini dress designs to make them life size, and so this is an actual skirt that I designed, and here's the top portion of it. And I think it finally came together, and I like it. Let me see. You can see that. And I guess as I keep on looking and learning more, I've learned that the style that I'm doing here is more of a Bohemian or gypsy style that I am designing, but I love to put vintage in there because I love vintage, and I think Bohemian can be vintage also. And I've seen that you can actually go towards the hippie style at the same time. But this is what she's turned out to be look like. She's I don't know how long it took me, but I'm at the same time as I'm designing it, I'm trying to figure out the best ways to apply them to a previously made garment. So this was actually a skirt before I started, a cotton skirt. And the reason I chose this cotton skirt was because it had a drawstring on it, and I thought that would be great for sizing. Oops, here's the drawstring. I thought that would be great so it could fit multiple sizes. The blue and black one that I made, it actually was also a one size fits all large size, and this one was marked as an extra large skirt. That's what it was marked at. But what I did was um I'll probably put a range of what the waist is. So if you can see here, let me see. I can't stretch it. It's on a hanger. It is, I don't know, I would say 13.5 inches probably once I pull that up, maybe 14 inches. So that is probably 28 inches around. And then it can get larger. As you can see, the drawstring is drawn a little bit, but I like the way it looks. Probably this size, it could get a little bit larger or it can get smaller. Um, and I'm going to actually put this one in my shop. It's not something that I was going to use myself. I don't even think this one would fit me. The other blue one would fit me, but this one probably won't. But I put a lot of detail in this. I still need to steam it because I will be steaming everything that every time I make them, I'll go ahead and steam, and I might just steam them right before I package them if they get sold, because that way if it's folded and stuff, I don't know if I'm going to hang it or fold it. If I find a place to hang them, then I will probably steam them before. But I do like to want to steam them to kill any germs or anything like that. Um, and my pieces that I make will be a mixture of, I'm showing you the back now, will be a mixture of new and vintage pieces that I use inside of my designs, and there'll be a variety of different types of fabrics and laces and things like that. So this is the back portion. You can see that. Um, and then there you go. And you can see I put many different types of textiles in it. And what it is it's an actual skirt. So back there you can see the skirt. Oops, can you see the skirt back there? And it goes about up to let me point with this. Since I'm holding the camera, it's getting all dizzy. So the skirt is about up to here, and there's still probably a good 10 inches to a foot. And so I just wanted to just show this to you guys while I'm about done with it, and it will be going in my shop. If anybody's interested, just let me know. I'm trying to turn it back to the front. Also, go ahead and ask any questions if you have any questions about it. Let's see. Let me talk about some of the things I used, because the front and the back were originally the same, and then I added and embellished the front a little bit more. This is this first piece right here. This is a piece of a lace that I have, and I hand dyed this lace and an ombre dye. It almost has like a purple burgundy color. The colors I see on my screen, they actually look like pretty much the colors that this is. This might be a tiny bit more muted, and that's the base that I really want. I was trying to pull this color in and into the garment, and but I wanted to still give it like a tattered and torn vintage look. If you can see this piece right here, it's just a piece of hand-dyed lace, and it's tattered. So this is a tattered piece. If you can see, it's just a piece of lace, it's tattered. And I attached that and a variety of other things. Along the waistband here, I placed the beautiful lace there, and then on top of the lace, I placed this fringe lace. I was gonna place one that had more tassels and more weight to it, but I didn't want it to the skirt to get too heavy. And then along the waistband here, I went ahead and placed a beautiful applique. I actually carry this applique in my shop. And this is just another way you can use one of those collar pieces. You can see how pretty that looks. And I just stretched it to fit along the front of the waistband. And then I hand sewed it on. So you'll find in the back that there's a lot of hand sewing in it as well as machine sewing. Because I did do the main parts with machine, and then I hand sewed, and I also did some knotting. And this is just it's actually a flower brooch. I have a couple of these, and I found it, and I said, oh, this goes perfectly with this piece. And it has, let me see if I can reach those beads. It actually has some cute beads hanging from it. I think about 3. Let's see, there they are. There's the 3 beads. And this is a tea dyed piece of doily. I used to have these in my shop, and I sold most of them. I have a few more left, so which is something I may put in my shop in the future if I find more doilies. But this is the tattered doilies that I used to have in my shop. And I actually had this lace in my this big lace in my shop for a while too, and then I decided it wasn't selling very well. Okay, thank you, Christine Bickley. Thank you. And then I started, I don't know, it just, when I'm designing, I throw things together, I put in colors, and then I try to bring the main colors together. You can see this is the main color that I used for, it's more like a wine chiffon, and this is actually a vintage piece that looked quite new when I got it. I did launder it and then put it on the dress, and that's why I steam things, because I think that if I use vintage pieces, I think steaming is one of the best ways to kill anything that's on any vintage pieces, and then but yet still preserve them, or even ironing probably helps. And I have again, this was also a piece that I dyed myself. So is this one. It's just a piece of lace that I had previously dyed. Along when I was doing a lot of dyeing, I was experimenting with ombre dyeing, and this piece had this beautiful green, sagey green color with a little bit of the purple along the edge. So I threw that on there. And then this piece hanging here is a combination of the same applique that's up here. I have this applique in my shop in a white and an ivory color, and this is the ivory color that you see there. And see this fringe right here, this one, I just got that in my when I went to the wedding that I went to, and I will be putting this in my shop. I do have a good 10 plus yards on that, so I'll put that in my shop. And over here, this is another way that I used another lace I used to carry. Still have some, and this one I actually dyed. It's the normal color is a little bit lighter than that, and I dyed it. And then you could see a piece of that same trim. I kind of cut it's just a different way that you can think about using these. This is a collar piece that I used here, and that again, that one's in my shop. And what I did is that the collar piece has a clear rhinestone bling on it. It has like 3 of them. This part right here is the bling, clear rhinestone. This one was clear rhinestone. This one, if you really look close, you could probably see some of the shine of it underneath the button. But I decided to bring the style a little bit more closely to to look. I didn't think that the shiny bling, I didn't like it for this piece, so I took off the bling. And a lot of the times when there's like the kind that's glued on, you can usually use heat to take it off, or it just peels off. This one I actually peeled it off, and a little bit of the shine stayed behind it, but that would just add a little shine to the button. So I placed a vintage button here. I have several of these buttons in my, I don't have them in my shop, but I do have them in my stash. And this button here, as you can see, and I placed in the center.
Mom, can I have some more pizza?
Sure, honey, just ask Becca. I was there making pizza with him a while ago before I came. And over here, you can see I just placed a variety of things, and I love to place vintage. This was a vintage tablecloth that I dyed. And when I dyed it, it became this like rosy, muted, vintage looking piece. And it's all tattered. So this is a tattered type of a thing. And I like to bring mixture of new and vintage, and I put it all together. This piece was actually the real color of this, and it's interesting how these look very close to the same color. This one I dyed. I don't think I dyed this one. I think this one was just a vintage piece that of lace that I had. I have a little bit of that. And then like this piece, like I said, it's just beautiful. And under here, like I just added this on top, and below you'll see all the pieces of a variety of colors. Um, I placed some of this. I actually placed some of these, and I still have some boho de-stash lots, and I placed this in that lot. I can't remember everything else I placed in that lot. I'm not sure, but I do have that. And this, excuse me, I'm still a little bit sick, but you can see I'm feeling better. This is just a piece of a lace. I just kind of tied it to look like a floppy bow. I wanted that floppy type of a look to bring everything together. And actually when I started this piece, I used scraps. I went to my bin of things that I had, and I kind of got some that had similar colors, and I started with that. And that's the back portion of this, and then I layered another layer, excuse me, of gorgeous. I just kept on layering it till I got it this way. This is hanging from just the center, and it's just a piece of lace again that I had dyed during that time when I was dyeing. I don't have my dyes out right now, so I don't do a lot of dyeing right now. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to cough. And that's what all I wanted to share with you. I wanted to share it with you. So if anybody's interested in this, it will be in my shop soon. I did do a I did do photographs. I'll probably put those in on Facebook also. So just head on over to my shop, and once I do put it in my shop, I'll put the link on this video. So I hope you are inspired to create your own things, to see that I have been able to manage to bring my tassel type of a little dress decor into real life, and it's something that somebody can purchase and use. Uh, I will also put the dimensions of this piece in my shop. This is Liz with Crafty Devotion. I hope you are inspired by my designs.